So tell me why I ought to be a Republican.
Well, I think that you might want to think about being a Republican. Are you conservative?
No, ma'am, I'm not. Why ought I be a conservative?
Well, you know, I think as far as I'm concerned, I can only speak for myself. That I'm a conservative because I believe in personal responsibility and accountability.
Okay.
And I believe in government to do the things that government should do. The people be responsible for the things they should do. And that our country is built on the premise of liberty. Being able to pursue happiness.
So how do I pursue happiness if I don't have access to health care?
I think you do have access to health care. Now, it may be limited in some places, and that we do need to try to do something about.
What do you propose doing about it? The Republicans...
Is this really questions?
Excuse me?
What is this for?
Whatever I want.
Well, I'm not usually accustomed to being...
Well, you're out here in public advocating the Republican Party.
Right.
And I'm a citizen asking you why your party and why your ideas. And you even have a name tag. I don't know the significance of that, but I would think you'd want to tell me why I ought to be a Republican. And I am willing to listen.
I don't think you probably want to be a Republican.
Well, I'm interested in your reasons, ma'am.
Well, I just gave you several of my reasons.
And I'm asking you questions on them.
Good.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Plus the record of people you've elected gives me pause in electing Republicans. George Bush was a Republican. I think that was a mistake. What do you think?
Well, I think that George Bush had an awful hard time when he was first elected. Some of the things that he had to deal with when he was elected.
Like a government surplus and a healthy economy?
Well, I don't want to argue the points with you. You're asking me some questions that you want my views on. So I was just, but it's not my responsibility to actually try to justify George Bush.
Okay.
He is in the past. What I am advocating for is how we handle things going into the future.
Okay. And what do you think we ought to do in the future?
I think that we need to get control of government spending, spend less.
What do you want us to spend less on?
Well, we have a large budget. There are going to be any number of things that you need. I'd like a drink also. Yeah. I'm sorry? I'd like a drink also to get a chance. Diet.
So can you tell me anything specific we ought to spend less on?
I think that we ought to spend more time looking at earmarks and other things that we do out, that before we start doing that we need to be able to pay our bills.
But you have nothing specific that you can say we ought not to spend money on?
I do, because that's what I do.
Oh, what are we spending money on Washington that we ought not to?
We ought not to be spending money on enlarging government. We need to be shrinking government so that we can live within our means here at the state.
We just cut funding. Washington just cut funding for the University of Washington and Wazoo, Western Washington University, or Washington State. That's it. At equal time here. By 40%. You think that's a good move for the future of the state?
I think that it was not maybe as reasonable as it should have been. Some of those things I didn't agree with. I especially didn't agree with kind of an unlimited ability to raise.
Are you a member of the state legislature?
Yes, I am.
So how is the college supposed to function if the state cut funding without raising tuition?
Well, again, I think that people need to go back and look at how they're spending money.
You think they're wasting money?
Don't put words in my mouth.
Well, okay.
I think that they need to go and look at how they're budgeting, and then begin to really do a realistic evaluation of what we need to do and what we don't need to do. There were lots of things brought up that were, I think, reasonable opportunities to try to reduce some of the costs in our state universities. At the same time,
can you give me an example of one of those?
No, because I don't serve on that committee, but I know that we were talked about, and some of them tried to move forward. But unless they were actually moving forward to the entire house, it's very difficult to get totally specific. But I do know that there were some things that the universities needed to go and look at as to some of the offerings.
And you think that they were wasting 40%?
Well, you continue to interrupt me and put words in my mouth.
Well, there was a 40% cut. I'm asking you to justify that. Can you justify that? You can't justify that. Okay. Nice day for taking film, huh? This is cute. Go for it. Makes good film. Republicans nervous on camera. Huh? How you doing? So tell me, why'd we cut the UW 40%? So why'd you cut funding 40% at the UW? Think that's good for the state? Oh, okay. The liberals decided to cut spending for UW, not the conservatives, right? It was the liberals that decided to cut spending for UW, not the conservatives, right?
Excuse me, I don't appreciate the way
I know you don't.
And I don't appreciate being attacked like this.
You're not being attacked.
Yes,
I'm following you. You're a public official, and I have the right to talk to you about public policy, and I will. I'm keeping a safe distance, and I'm asking you to account for your votes in the legislature, and you're refusing to.
No, I'm not.
No, you're lying to me. You and I know very well it was the conservatives that cut spending.
You know, if this is all you have to do is to attack your public official and someone who's trying to represent you, then I find it very offensive the way you're doing this.
Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. Would you tell me the liberals that advocated the cuts? There must be some names associated with them. Are there any names of any state senators, Democrats, that advocated the cuts?
It's public record.
You won't name any names, huh?
It's public record.
I see. So you're blaming the liberals for cutting the budget, cutting UW's budget by 40%. Is that good for the state? Do you think that bodes well? Do you plan on restoring any of the funding in the future, ma'am? Ma'am, do you plan on restoring any of the funding? Under what circumstances will UW be fully funded again? Can you tell me when that would be? Do you expect to draw high-tech business to Washington without the UW?